Are you interested in getting a tankless water heater in your home? In this video, I'm going to talk about gas versus electric and help you decide which one is right for you. Electric models are typically more efficient, 98 to 99%, than gas, which is 80 to 95%. But gas models can heat water faster. Gas models can handle higher flow rates, making them better for larger households. Now, electric units are smaller and don't require venting, while gas models need proper ventilation, adding to installation complexity. Electric, well, it's typically cheaper and easier to install, while gas may require extra cost for venting and gas line upgrades. But I will tell you this, one of the biggest houses that I ever put tankless water heaters in were electric, and they had to run multiple electrical lines to get enough power to where they needed it. So just because the initial cost, gas is a little cheaper or could be a little cheaper, electric can be more expensive or gas can, depending on your situation in your house. Now, gas models tend to cost more initially. And when I mean that, I'm talking the cost of the unit normally costs Plumber somewhere between $800 and $2,500 versus electric, which costs to the plumbers are normally somewhere between $500 and maybe $1,500 to $2,000 for the very top end. Operational costs? Well, gas is usually cheaper to run in areas with high electricity costs, but this varies by location. In some parts of the United States, they're trying to make gas tankless water heaters efficiency so high that they're going to be almost impossible to build, and it's going to end up costing you more. Now, who's probably pushing this? Well, probably the electrical companies, because they want you buying more electricity. Anyway, let's get back to talking about the pros and the cons. Gas units typically last 20 years or more, while electric ones may only last 15 years due to a simpler design. Now, the gas, one thing you have to remember, gas models require more maintenance. You need to descale them. You need to do your burner checks, venting inspections. You need to have them actually tested and inspected once a year, which is when you want to do the flush. Now, electric ones, a little less upkeep. You still want to flush them. You don't want that scale building up and making your unit less efficient. So there is still some upkeep. And a lot of this stuff is stuff that you can do yourself. Now, when it comes to our carbon footprint, which really, that's the reason most people want to go tankless anyway. Electric models are cleaner if they're powered by renewable energy, while gas units do produce emissions, and that is something to think about. Local energy grid considerations mean that some regions rely on fossil fuels for electricity. Now, this affects the actual eco-friendliness of electric units. If your electricity provider is actually burning fossil fuel to create your energy, guess what? It really doesn't matter who burns the gas. Somebody's burning gas. You might as well do it as the homeowner and realize more of a saving. Now, when it comes to cold climates versus warm climates, gas units perform better in colder areas where the groundwater temperatures are lower and more heating power is needed. And the grid reliability. In areas prone to power outages like Texas, when it gets cold, when we have storms, not a great place, a gas unit may be more reliable since it does not rely on the electricity, unless it has an electronic ignition, and that is something to think about. Now, many utility companies and governments offer rebates for energy-efficient water heaters, which could make one option more cost-effective. And another thing to remember, guys, gas models can be noisier due to burners and the venting systems, while electric ones are almost silent. Now, I want you to think about that, because if you are installing this gas tankless water heater right above your master bedroom, and you have kids that come in at late at night from their part-time job, and they're taking showers at 12, 1, 2 in the morning, you may hear this tankless water heater kick on. That burner assembly is loud. It'll kick on, then you've got the exhaust fans and all that. So it's something that you may want to think about. Where are you putting it? Is it close to anyone's bedrooms or anything at all like that? Because what you don't want to do is relocate a tankless water heater to give yourself more room, which is great because we have taken tank top water heaters out of a closet, ran those lines up into the attic. Now the person had another 3 foot by 3 foot closet. Great thing to have. But if it's right above a bedroom or something, and this gas tankless water heater is going to be louder than your normal tank top, it could be an issue for some people. And gas models have risks of gas leaks and carbon monoxide poisoning if they're improperly installed or maintained. Just like any water heater, okay? Your tank top gas water heater has risks of gas leaks too and carbon monoxide poisoning if they're improperly installed or maintained. Make sure the vent coming off your water heater is together, it's intact, it's doing what it's supposed to do. That helps eliminate it. And don't be crawling around on the gas lines creating leaks. Once the plumber puts it in, it's tested, inspected, chances are it's normally good. Electric models, well, they eliminate that combustion risk, but they may require additional electric panels or upgrades, and I have seen that done. And guys, that can get to be very, very costly. And it's something you need to look at before you're deciding which way to go. So as you can see, the right choice depends on a lot of factors. Now, these are factors that we used to point out to people whenever they called us out wanting a tankless water heater. We'd show them the pros and the cons of each, gas versus electric. Now, me personally, I love the gas tankless water heaters. I've actually installed many of them. I've done videos on many of them. I've tested and inspected many of them. I think tankless water heaters, they're the way of the future. They're going to take up less space in our homes. What we need to be doing is looking at how our houses are built in the beginning. Are they built for tankless water heaters, whether we're talking gas or electric? You want to make sure you have enough power where you would want to install these, or your gas line is big enough. Remember, a tank top water heater, a standard tank, takes about 30 to 40, maybe 50,000 BTUs. A tankless water heater takes up to almost 200,000 BTUs. So you're looking up to 4 times the amount of gas. Your house design has to be able to allow that many BTUs at that point. So to have a plumbing company come in, do a gas load calculation chart before your house is built to make sure that you've got a big enough gas line going to that tankless water heater area where you either want it or may want it in the future is something worth looking at in the very beginning. Now, if you're doing a retrofit or remodel, you're probably going to go what you've already got. Meaning, if you've got a gas top tank water heater, you're probably going to try to go a gas top tankless water heater. Same on the electric. Just understand from the information I've given you, you may need to upsize your panel and your electrical lines if you want to go a tankless electric. You're probably going to have to upsize your gas line, maybe your meter, and maybe your gas supply line from the meter to the house in order to go a tankless water heater. Either way, guys, I think in the long term, they're worth it because this money you pay for the upgrade now to retrofit, when it comes time to replace this tankless water heater, you're not going to have to do that again. Everything's going to already be there. But remember, electric or gas, the maintenance is something you want to look at annually. Keep your heat exchanger clean. That way, the gas where it's heating it is actually heating the water inside, not a mineral buildup like calcium and magnesium. And to be smart, if you're putting in a tankless water heater, put in a filtration system in your house. Most tankless manufacturers recommend it for the warranty to be any good. But guys, if you got great benefit out of this, do me a favor. If you've already subscribed, just hit that bell notification. That way you get notified every time we put up a video. And if you love this, if you know somebody else thinking about water heaters or that owns a home, please share this video with them. And if you love this one, I definitely think you're going to like this next one.